Captain, I think we might be dead. That's terrible news.
Time runs out on me.
You require my assistance.
Burp, 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 burp. Aha! And should I play this deck? I haven't played Mage in a while. So, quest. Sort. Reverb. Buy one. Antonitis. Complete my deck. Wait, that worked, right? Isn't this... I'm not gonna do that, obviously, but isn't this good? Haha! I don't know if any of you guys know this about me, but I'm what some might call a toxic Antonitis player. I like to do things like this. All right. So, there you go. Haha! 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 Oh, I can't play it. All right, that's enough ha-haing. Haha! Greetings, fellow humans. I'm MartianBuu, and today I have for you Exodia Quest Mage. So ever since the Mage quest got nerfed to only be used once per game, players have been looking for alternative ways to still get their Quest Mage fix. And here we have the classic Sorcerer's Apprentice Antonitis combo, which is one of the options a lot of players go for. I do think that the only reason to play this over the otherwise popular Ignite Mage list is because it's funny to play Archmage Antonitis. If you go with Ignite and Stargazer Luna instead of Archmage Antonitis, you only have to get out 2 Sorcerer's Apprentice total, 3 to play a lot of your cards, but 2 in order to go infinite with the Ignite. You do have to draw your whole deck, so that would be the edge that Antonitis has over that. You don't have to completely deck yourself out before you can pull off your infinite. But anyways, I just think that Antonitis Sorcerer's Apprentice is really cool. I have a lot of fun playing this combo, which is why I chose to play that deck today. Overall, I had a ton of fun playing this deck. I think for a meme combo, this was actually pretty competitive. You'll see a lot of things like this in tier 3. But before we get into the games, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Into the AM. Into the AM is my favorite place to get everyday wear. All of the graphic tees you see me wear on stream are from Into the AM, like this one. I do really enjoy the way that they look as well as the way that they fit. Whether I'm out and about or just chilling at home, chances are I've got an Into the AM tee on. And just in time for all of your summer activities, Into the AM is launching a new line of summer wear. And to celebrate that, they are having a site-wide sale from June 27th all the way to July 8th. Stop by Into the AM during that time to save 30% off site-wide and an additional 10% off if you use my link in the description, intotheam.com/chumbo. I really do love Into the AM's graphic tees, and they have some awesome new designs coming out, so make sure you give them a try using my code in the description. And now, without further ado, let's get into the games. Thank you so much for watching. Giving the druid cards will literally never backfire.
Stay alert, my children.
Stay alert, my fungus. Renathal Dragon Druid. That's my type of spaghetti.
Relaxation for all and all.
Won a game finally? You did? I'm so proud of you, Jeff. Knew you could do it. Hey, Marin. Hey, Marin. Wait, is that a Marin who discovered Marins? Alright, I apologize for not commenting on that sooner. Marin, summon 2 other Marin to the field. Marin the Fox.
Stands a time of unload.
3 Marins on board, broken deck. It really is, isn't it? I think if anything's cheating, this is. That's my big opinion. So excited to clear that with my Antonitises. Antonitises? Oh, almost, right? Like next turn, maybe? Yeah. Think so. And I don't even want to do that yet, so. There you go. They are duplicates druids, so we should be okay. Oh, don't play Lotheb, by the way, please. Please. Don't play Lotheb, come on. That's rude. It would be rude to play Lotheb. Alright. Yes, good, good. More fireballs for me. More fireballs for me. Ha 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 ha.
Our gift of the arcane
Bum, bum, bum. Wee. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Excuse me. I do need to find the Antonitis, don't I? Okay, there he is. Hey, Antonitis. Hey, Tony. How you doing? Wow. All right, here we go. It's time.
you require my assistance.
Burp, 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 burp. The amazing Antonitis. He who was born of aw. That's all I had to do?
Someday I'll be just like you. Someday I'll be just like you. I do say, I seem to have lost the surface. Someday I'll be just like you. Someday I'll be just like you.
Time runs out on me.
Oh, because they're gonna lose all their sorks. I see. How to get to legend without playing my combo would be a good video with, with those 3 games. How do people feel about Caverns of Time? I love the buffing old cards, but was not a big fan of the new cards they made. It's kind of how I am with it a little bit. A lot of the cards that were buffed needed to be buffed like significantly harder to have any hope of seeing play in actual Wild, but that set wasn't designed to be played in Wild. It was designed to be played in Twist Wonders. And I didn't like a lot of the choices that actually did end up being pretty good in Wild. Like Shadow Bomber didn't need a buff for Wild's sake. So like in that regard, that could have been better, but also like the new cards were largely designed to be good in Twist Wonders as well, which is why they fell kind of flat, except for Chamber, which was just the most unhinged card design in the history of Hearthstone. I don't know. This is just like so broken. How did that collide? I mean, like, for me now, it just means that like a portion of your collection is hard to check for redundancy, because like if you have two Caverns copies of a card, it's not going to show you any of the original card when you just look in your collection. So you might be sitting on a bunch of dust that you don't even realize, because you have to manually cross-check by clicking on each thing to see which of your Caverns cards have like pointless duplicates. And also, like, if you bought Taverns of Time cards, let's say you like bought Caverns of Time and you were excited to get a bunch of cards that you missed out on because you weren't playing back then. In Twist Fast Forward, if you had the Caverns Dread Scale, for example, you couldn't play with it when TGT went live, because that's the Caverns version of the card. So you would have to craft again the original version of Dreadscale to be able to play Dreadscale Hunter on that day for Twist Fast Forward, which I think is like, I don't know, that's probably, I don't know, it cringes me out like every time I think about it. Like, how did that not get fixed, or something? Like you buy Caverns of Time for Twist, right? And then in a later season you're punished for buying the Twist product, because you can't use your otherwise legal Twist specific version of the card in the Twist mode for that month. It drives me up a wall. It's so gross. So yeah, I mean, like, idea 10 out of 10, execution 3 out of 10. It was kind of a disaster. I'm just trying to decide if I go in next turn. I don't think I do. Duels died for Caverns? You think so? Most recently revealed neutral cards might have wild implications. Has charge if this didn't start in your deck. What? Oh my goodness, we can put it in the ETC. Is that good? Do you want a 6/6 pirate charger in your ETC? Is that ever worth it for like a standard deck? 5 for 4/7 Murloc. After a minion is summoned for your opponent during your turn, silence and destroy it. If a minion is summoned for your opponent during your turn, silence and destroy it. What wants that? Oh, it's out. You guys didn't notice? Oh, is this the one you were talking about? Thoughts? Anyone have any opinions on this one? This card seems somewhat cold-blooded. That's my funny thing to say about what? Just I turn away for 2 seconds to talk about the new Broken Pirate, and I come back to this. I see.
I'll be just like you.
And we got there. Someday I'll be just like you. Look at all these Sorcerer's Apprentice I have.
You require my assistance.
Haha! 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 One of these days I'm gonna miss. Haha! 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 But I think on 2 I just pinged, right? Yeah, I pinged like patches. So I think I should theoretically be able to find Ice Block. And I lose. Ice Block 1 cost.
What an event!
I've only successfully bluffed Ice Block one time ever. And I don't even remember the deck I was playing. It was probably some kind of weird Reno Mage, but like somebody who had lethal on board just conceded because I bluffed Ice Block. It was very satisfying, but I don't believe it'll ever happen again.
I fight in the name of.
Do you think my opponent will get out
circles around you.
think my opponent will get out Carriol so I can do extra fireballs? People need to check those things. Yeah, tilt can be powerful, I guess. OMG, Showdown in the Badlands released 7 months ago. It's true. Order in the court already? What do you mean order in the court already? What are you ordering? This is like a call to arms high-end deck?
Reporting for duty. How glorious!
What nerfs would you suggest to make Demon Hunter more viable and wild? After this, if you remind me, I will go through the entire Demon Hunter card list, and we'll try to find a Demon Hunter card that I don't think should be unnerfed.
Reporting for duty.
Reporting for duty.
Ow. Chat, do you think I can find Scrumbo times? Arcane and Frost. I have not played Fire. Whatever. Here we go. Yay!
I'll be just like you. Someday I'll be just like you.
My compliments to you. Time runs out on me.
Wow. Here we go. Here comes the fireballs. Wow. 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 Haha. 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 Wow.
My compliments to you.
We have turned our curse into
Even Paladin. I actually don't have to play this anymore if I'm just trying to get to Legend, because I've marked 10 things.
Duty.
Most of them are good. Actually, now that I think about it, one of them isn't this deck. One of them is the intro, one of them is a clip. That's already 7 left. 2 of them are regards to a compilation. That's 5 left. One of them is a game, and the other one is a mark to cancel it. So we have at most 3 full games. Maybe I should maybe I should try to get myself crossing the threshold. That was my first thought too, JF, but like, is it worth running ETC to get that thing? Is my thought. The pirate that's 6/6 in charge that's coming up. It's a 6 for 6/6 charge, but only if it didn't start in your deck. And so like you can put it in the ETC, but then you've spent turn 4 playing ETC to get that, which I don't think is very exciting. All right, as long as they don't pop this turn, I think we're good.
Reporting for duty.
If you don't need your tech card, you just take the damage. Oh, so like you could play it just for the sake of having it in a random ETC. Like, not you're putting ETC with that in an aggro deck. Interesting. What kind of deck would want to do that? They have another one of those rebukes. We're toast. Please don't toast me. Oh, did we mistime our rebuke? Did we make a little whoopsie oopsie? This is what I think of whoopsie oopsies, by the way. Wow. I actually could draw too much, couldn't I? I could put myself in a nasty wasty position where we something about saying nasty wasty didn't sit right with me. All right. Here we go. Aha! 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 That was an accident. These aren't accidents. But I did not intend to do that when I did it. All right. Look at all these fireballs. Fireballs to the deck. Whee! Hey, look at this fireball. Aha! 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 Why don't you take that, Arthas? Why don't you take that? Write home about it. In general, I find that I don't always like chat commentary when I play certain decks. The worst time I've ever had playing a deck on stream was actually Reno Priest from Scholomance, and that's the only time that chat has ever successfully bullied me into not playing something. And I think that was much more because I was new to streaming than anything else, but there was a lot of hatred for that archetype at the time, and it might have been more about the crowd that was playing at that time, because it really does seem surreal looking back back on it. Maybe Hearthstone is just caught up to the inevitability that Polkelt Rasa Priest had back then, and so it doesn't seem as out of place as it was. Anyways, I would never let chat do that for me now. If chat was too obnoxious about a deck I was playing, I would much sooner end stream than switch decks just to appease them. I do find that Quest Mage is one of the ones where I get the most negative comments, particularly when Quest Mage was good and Quest Mage was Parrot. And like, it's one thing to hate an archetype. I do think that Quest Mage, playing against it, is some of the least fun I've ever had playing Hearthstone. But when the chatters start to come after me personally and like express their disappointment in me that I would deign to play a deck in a video game, you know, it's so unreasonable. It's so juvenile. But I think that extends in lesser ways to other themes in Hearthstone. The reason that I've gone down this tangent is actually because of the way that I play Antonidas Mage. When I play the Exodia combo, I'm not doing it for the thrill of victory. I'm doing it because I can set up my pieces in such a way that I have unlimited fireballs, and it's really fun to cast unlimited fireballs. I can only imagine how cool it would be to get like a 200 armor druid or something against me when I set that up and get to chunk through the whole thing in a turn. So when I send fireballs to not my opponent's face when I've assembled all of my combo pieces, it's not to infuriate my opponent, it's because it's funny to cast fireballs, and it's funny to have a bunch of extra stuff and do a bunch of things that don't matter because I've set up a board that's so powerful. And a lot of people consider that BM. And I think spoil sport is probably the nicest way I can describe how I feel about that. There is a big difference between doing a very silly thing in Hearthstone and actually doing something for the sake of making sure your opponent is tilted. Like, for example, you guys never see me deliberately playing all of my actions in the first 3 seconds of my turn and then waiting for the rope to almost explode before I pass. That's BM. That's wasting my and my opponent's time for the sake of wasted my opponent's time. That's actual bad manners. You never see me adding my opponent after the game to tell them how stupid I think their deck is, how bad I think they played. You know, that's bad manners. But if I've shown my opponent lethal on board and then I just have fun with the silly board that I've created, that's about me in my experience, and my opponent can opt out of that at any time. You do not have an obligation to your opponent to temper your own fun for the sake of managing how you assume your opponent feels about what you're doing, and neither do I. So I feel zero bad for doing stuff like shooting fireballs at my own face and my Antonidas, and I feel zero bad for playing whatever deck that I want to play, and neither should you.